Hello, my name is Mark, and this is the IBEW Full-Length Algebra and Functions Aptitude Practice Test. I made this to simulate an aptitude test, the mathematical portion of it. So the reason why I'm making this is because this should be free material. Because you know what? You learned all this in middle school and high school. And maybe if you decided to go to college, you learned this in college. So it kind of sucks that there's a paywall to relearn everything. So all I ask for you to do is like the video. And if you do want another practice test, just let me know in the comments below. Let's go ahead and just get it over with and start with question 1. Simplify the following expression. 3 2x cubed minus x squared plus 4 minus 5x minus 2x cubed plus x squared. So the first thing that I'm looking at is this right here, this part of the expression. Because this is in parentheses, then I look inside it and I go, there's nothing in there that I could add or subtract with each other. No terms could be added or subtracted. Everything's at its lowest terms. So the next thing you do is you multiply in the parentheses. So we're going to distribute the 3. We're going to distribute the 3 to the 2. We're going to distribute the 3 to the negative x squared, to the 4, and to the minus 5x. So I will show that to you right now. So the first thing I would do when I'm taking the aptitude test is I would write the problem down. Then I would distribute. So let's do this line by line. 3 times 2x cubed equals 6x cubed. You just multiply the 3 and the 2. We carry over the x cubed. And then 3 minus x squared equaling negative 3x squared. And then 12, 3 times 4 is 12. And then 3 times negative 5x is negative 15x. Now the expression becomes, there's nothing in here where we could subtract or add with each other. Everything is its own term. And then we just plug it back into the expression. So we have this. Now we would see if there's any like terms. For example, 6x cubed can go with negative 2x cubed. And that would equal 4x cubed. And minus 3x squared could go with, can be added with x squared. And that would equal negative 2x squared. So let's go ahead and see what we have next. So combine like terms, group them mentally. So exactly like I said, 6x cubed minus 2x cubed equals 4x cubed. And then the next term down is the squared minus 2x squared minus 15x stays, meaning there's nothing that it could be added with. There's no other number that's with an x by itself, so we can't add or subtract anything with it, and it just stays. And same with the 12. So again, there's nothing we could do to lower it to simplest terms because we've already done so. So we just write it the whole thing over again. 4x cubed minus 2x squared minus 15x plus 12. And the simplified expression is as such, and that is answer choice A. So again, what I want you to do, what I encourage you to do, is take a screenshot of this, put it into ChatGPT, and prompt it to give you another problem just like this. And if you solve the problem easily, I recommend that you ask ChatGPT to up the difficulty. So you just get more practice in. Get all those reps in as much as you can. Okay, next question. So consider the following formula. 3 in parentheses, x minus 2 in parentheses, x plus 4. Which of the following formulas is equivalent to this one? So what I would do is deal with the parentheses over here. We're going to use the FOIL method. I think it's first out, in last. I'm not sure. I forgot. But how I would do it, or how you would do it, is x times x. I guess this is first and then out. And then you would do this, x times 4. And then you go in -2 times x, and then -2 times 4. You're going to be doing 4 separate equations. So let's see what I have here. So again, I would write down the problem, multiply the expressions in parentheses, like I said, multiply term by term, x times x equals x squared. So I just want to point this out that x times x is actually x1 times x1, right? And then you add these exponents at the top, the 1 here plus the 1 up top, right, equals the 2 over here. That's why we have x squared. Another example would be x3 times x5 equals x to the 8th power. I think that's how you say that correctly. Okay, so that's just a quick recap. Now what we would do is multiply x with 4. So we're going to have x times 4 equals 4x. And then x is -2. -2 times x equals -2x. And then -2 times 4 equaling -8. Remember, anything multiplied by a negative, if it's positive, will always be negative. Okay, so now we're going to add like terms like we did on the previous question. So 4x minus 2x equals 2x. Nothing else here could be added or subtracted with each other. So it's good. So the expression is going to be x squared plus 2x minus 8. Yep, and then this is it not simplified yet. So now we combine like terms, and now we have this. Now we put this back, right? We put this back in parentheses, like mentally, and then with the 3. And then we do what we did on the last problem, and we distribute the 3. Okay? Distribute the coefficient, which is the 3. 3x squared, 6x minus 24. 3 times x squared equals 3x squared. 3 times 2x equals 6x. 3 times -8 equals -24. And that's our simplified expression. And that is answer choice A again. Okay, perfect. Moving on to 3. Remember, screenshot this. Okay, screenshot this, pause, and write it down. Okay, check this out. These are all my notes. Everything. I wrote everything down. Everything. All these, all me, all day. This is how you practice for the aptitude test. Okay, factor the polynomial. 4x cubed y plus 8x squared times y squared. Okay, so what we're going to have to do here is treat each of these, the 4, the x, and the y, as like a term, right? Like it's its own thing. Like it's its own term, right? And then what we want to do is get the greatest common factor out from each term. So what is the greatest common factor between 4 and 8? What is the greatest common factor between x cubed and x squared, and with y and y squared? And what that means is just what can we divide with these numbers to keep like as a whole number. I think I butchered that, but it'll make sense when I start doing the problem. So let's see what we have here. So write down the problem, write down the polynomial, identify the greatest common factor. Okay, 4 and 8, the greatest common factor among or between these numbers is 4. In the x terms, x cubed and x squared, the smallest power is x squared. And in the y terms, it's y. It's just y. That's it. So the greatest common factor is just these all together, bunched up together, 4x squared and y. And then we just divide this by each of these. Factor out the GCF. Divide each term by 4x squared y. So 4x cubed y divided by 4x squared y equaling x. Let's see. And then 8x squared y squared divided by 4x squared y, which is the greatest common factor, equals 2y. So I don't think the math is shown here, but so this is the greatest common factor, and this is what happens when we took out the greatest common factor. And I just want to visualize it for you, what we did. So what happened was we see this 4, it's like 4 divided by 4, right? So just pretend like these lines are division lines. So 4 divided by 4 equals, and I'll just do lines over here to show what happened. Okay, 4 divided by 4 is 1. Okay, that's all that means. So the greatest common factor on this side, so this was this. Now on this side, this 8 divided by 4, right? This 8 divided by 4 is 2. So the greatest common factor on the x's is x squared. So x cubed divided by x squared. Remember, when you divide exponents, you subtract the number up top. So x cubed, that's a 3, divided by x squared equals x to the first power. And that's just x. That's just x. All right. And our last term is y. Y divided by y is just 1. Because it's y1 divided by y1 equals y0 equaling y. That's a 0, guys. Okay, perfect. So we have 1x1. And then we're going to do it again here. X squared, right? X squared divided by x squared is just 1. And y squared divided by y equals y. So if you look at these, it's 1 times x times 1 equals x, plus 2 times 1 times y equaling 2y. So that's what happened when we took out 4x squared y, the greatest common factor. That's where this came from. All right, and then the answer choice is A. Also, a tip for this is the greatest common factor, right? If we look at the answer choices, we've already found the answer because none of them have 4x squared y. There's only one answer that has this. So we could have ruled everything out from the beginning and then just chose A. And this would have saved us a lot of time on the test. Again, I think it's 45 minutes for this test for 33 questions, which isn't a lot of time. I remember having to guess near the end. And the tip for you for guessing is just choose a letter, B, C. That's what I would choose, either B or C, and then just pick one, and then whatever answers that you didn't answer, whatever questions you didn't answer, just choose B. Choose B, choose B, choose B, choose B. Okay, moving on. Check the factorization, which we did. And next question. So this question, factor the polynomial, what we have to find out here is what times what number times what number equals 24 or negative 24. And when those numbers are put together, added or subtracted together, they equal 5x. So they give us some numbers here. So let's just start with let's just start with C, right? So positive 12, right? Positive 12 and negative 2, right? 12 times negative 2 equals negative 24. That checks out. But 12 minus 2 equals 10, which does not equal 5. So that doesn't work. C does not work. Let's try A. 8 times negative 3 equals negative 24, right? Now, 8 minus 3 equals 5, positive 5, which checks out. And if you do that for each and one of these, you'll find out that none of them work except for A. So write the problem down, or you don't have to with this one. Step 1, identify the two numbers. Look for two numbers that multiply to negative 24 and add up to 5, positive 5. And just like we did, they just went down the line to A, or I did. I made this test with the help of ChatGPT. So the numbers we want are plus 8 and negative 3. Write the factors, x plus 8, x minus 3. We could do a quick check, which is the FOIL method. We just do this, x times negative 3, 8 times x, 8 times negative 3. And then we did exactly what I just said. And then we have the original polynomial, which is answer choice A. Next question. Okay, here is another portion of the test where we have to figure out the relationship between the numbers. And then we have to figure out the next number. We have to figure out what number comes next. So 3 to 6, right? That's plus 3, right? Plus 3 equals 6. 6 to 15, that's plus 9 to get to 15. 15 to 42, that's plus 27, right? Do you see a pattern happening here? The pattern might not be here, like prevalent here, but it could be over here. So to get from 3 to 9, we have to multiply by 3, right? From 9 to 27, you multiply by 3. From 27 to the question mark down here, right? Let me use another color. Let me erase this. I'm going to make the answer a different color. But from 27 to this number here, we have to multiply by 3. So what is 27 times 3? 27 times 3 is, it should be a 1, 2, 81. So this right here is 81. And then we would go plus 81. So 42 plus 81 equals the next number in our sequence, which is 123. And let's see if we got that right. So write this down, and I would do it exactly like this. Find the relationship, write it down, okay? Look for a pattern between the terms. Write the transitions, 3 to 6. Do this now, write the transitions. But later on, you won't have to, because you would have just kind of figured out the pattern by using mental math. 6 to 15, 15 to 42. Identify the operation. We know from this it was 3 times 3 minus 3 equals 6. Well, lookity hookity here. This is a different way to find the operation, right? To find the next number. So what they did was they did 3 times 3 minus 3, which is kind of just mine, but backwards, right? Because I added 3 first, And then that's how I figured out that these get multiplied by 3 to get this number here. So that, I guess both of them could work. 6 times 3 minus 3 equals 15, and that makes sense. So that's the operation. This is one variation. Apply the same rule, so it would be 42 times 3 equals 126, minus 3 equals 123. The next number in the sequence would be 123 times 3 minus 3 equaling whatever that number is. And I don't want to do a check on my method, but you get the gist of it. Look for a pattern, identify the operation, apply the same rule to the last number to get the next number in the sequence, which is 123. Next question. Again, same thing. We're going to write everything down. Look for a pattern between the terms. Write the transitions. Identify the operations. 4 to 9 is 5. 9 to 7 is negative 2. 7 to 14 is times 2. 14 to 12 is negative 2. 14 to 12, right? To get there, you have to minus 2. From 12 to 24, you have to multiply by 2. And that's the pattern. Negative 2 times 2. Negative 2 times 2. Apply the same rule. What would it be? Minus 2. 24 minus 2 equaling 22. You see here, it says 4 to 9 is 5 though. And that has nothing to do with the pattern. And that might throw you off. Okay, I've seen this before and I got stumped on it. But what matters is what happens afterwards. Minus 2 times 2 minus 2 times 2, right? A pattern forms after that initial stump. If there was that stump and then a pattern doesn't come up, then you got to search a little bit deeper. But in this case, that's it. The answer is C, 22. 5 to 9, 9 to 19, 37 to 75. So let's go ahead and see if we could figure this one out by ourselves. All right, 5 to 9, 5 to 9. So let me give you my thought process. 5, 9, 19, 37, 75. My thought process, right, would from just initially would be plus 4, right? 9 to 19 plus 10, right? 37 minus 19 minus, hard on mental math, but 17, so 8, 1 plus 18, right? And I would try to look for a pattern there. And then I realized there's nothing going on, right? Because here to here, it's nothing. You can't go from 4 to 10, or maybe you could do plus 6, but then here, right, it's plus 8, and then here to here, what is it, plus 10, right? And then whatever number this is, what's 75 minus 37. I see this is just too much. I feel like at this point, you're doing too much, and it's probably not going to work out. Did I do that right? Did I even do that math right? I'm not sure. Anyway, doesn't make sense, right? I would go back, doesn't make sense. You're going to figure out here on this problem that you have to do a second operation. So the second operation is minus 1. So the first operation is how do you get from 5 to 9? The first operation you have to do is times this by 2, right? That equals 10. Now 10 minus 1 equaling 9. Those are the two operations. Times 2 minus 1. Right here, it's 9 times 2, right? Equaling 18. 18 plus 1 is 19. I kind of saw that pattern. I kind of saw that pattern because I did it. I did this test. Anyway, erase all that. Sometimes, what I'm trying to get at is sometimes there will be two operations that you have to figure out within the series of numbers. So let's go see what this says. Look for a pattern between the terms. Write the transitions, okay? Identify the operation. 5 to 9 is times 2 minus 1. 9 to 19 is times 2 plus 1. The next one is going to be times 2 minus 1. And then it's alternating, right? So the repeating rule is times 2 minus 1 and times 2 plus 1. Apply the same rule. So the next number is going to be 75 times 2 equaling 150. My nose is itchy. Minus 1. So 149. That is the answer. Apply to the last number. Boom. Exactly that. Just like we said. Okay. Question 8. Same thing. What is the next number in the following series of numbers? So 73 to 62 is, it's 11. 62 to 54 is 8. 54 to 5, or 49 is 5, and then 2. 49 to 47 is 2. So in this case, we have to find the underlying problem underneath the transitions, right? Right, the transitions, 73 to 62, 62 to 54, 54 to 49, 49 to 47. So before we go further, I want you to identify what's going on here. So this one is minus 11, right? 73 to 62 is minus 11. 62 to 54 is minus 8. 54 to 49 is minus 5. And 49 to 47 is minus 2. What's happening in between here? They're going up by positive 3, right? Positive 3. 5 to negative 2 is positive 3. So the next number has to be minus 2 plus 3 equaling 1. So 47, right? The next number in the series is 47 plus 1 equals 48. We have to figure out this part right here. All right, let's go move on. Identify the operation. 73 to 62 is negative 11. 62 to 54 is negative 8. Negative 5, negative 2, so on and so forth. Okay, what's the common thing among them? Well, they're adding the 3. Each time the numbers go up by 3, apply the same rule. Apply it to the last number. Minus 2 plus 3 equals 1. 47 plus 1 equals 48. And it is D. Okay, perfect. Next number of the series. Okay, here we go again. What is the relationship here? What's going on? 6 to 11, 11 to 9, 9 to 16, 16, 12, 12 to 21. Okay, did you notice that there are different types of number series that you're going to encounter, right? There's some that's going to make sense. There's some with underlying problems. And in this case, it's like, what is really going on, right? It looks like there's no relationship, right? 6 to 11, that's plus 5. So I would put plus 5, right? 11 to 9, it's plus 3, right? Or minus 3, sorry. It's minus 3. Minus 3. 9 to 16, what is that? That is plus 7, right? 16 to 12, that's minus 4. 12 to 21, that's plus 9. All right. So, I mean, there's kind of a pattern. You could see here that the alternating numbers add by 2, right? And then the alternating numbers here, minus 1. So you have negative 5 and minus 1. So 21 minus 5 equals, what does that equal? 26, or I'm sorry, 16, minus 16. So, or just 16. I'm not sure if that's the answer though. Let's see what I have. Look for the pattern, identify the alternating pattern. So that's what we were doing. Look at 6, 9, and 12, 6, 9, and 12, then 11, 16, 21. Okay. Identify the operation. These ones increase by 3. So yes, this is a different way. I'm sure it's maybe the same answer. I don't know. These ones increase by 5. So actually 6, 9, 12 plus 3 is 15. So the answer would be 15. Apply the same rule. 12 plus 3 is 15. Yeah. So I actually got it wrong. Don't copy me there. But again, what I want you to do is I want you to screenshot this, put it into ChatGPT, ask ChatGPT to make you a different problem, increase the difficulty if necessary, and keep practicing. Okay, next slide. Again, another number series. 4, 10, 7, 14, 20, 17, 24, 30. Let's just see what they give here. Look for the pattern. Look for the repeating cycle. 4 to 10 is plus 6. 10 to 7 is negative 3. 7 to 14 is 7. 14 to 20 is plus 6. 20 to 17 is minus 3. Do you see the pattern? Plus 6, minus 3, plus 7. Plus 6, minus 3, plus 7. Plus 6, and that's it right here. Plus 6. 24 to 30 is plus 6. What's the next number? 30 minus 3 equaling 27. Exactly that. And that would be answer choice B. All right. Here we go with some algebra. So for this formula, what I would do is when I see this, I'm going to write the formula down. Except I'm not going to just write the formula down and copy it. I'm going to write the formula down and I'm already going to replace the B variables with a 3 and the C variable with the 5 or vice versa, whatever it means. I would just replace it, right? So I would rewrite it really fast. 4A minus 3 plus 2C plus 3 equals, or 5 plus 3 equals A3 minus 5, right? I would do that really fast. And then we have to find A. I wouldn't just rewrite the equation. I would already put the variable and mentally I would already start solving. But for this video's sake, because we're learning, we're going to do it slow. Substitute the given values, okay? So we're going to replace the B's with 3's and C's with 5's, right? And just like PEMDAS, we're going to solve the parentheses and anything inside them, and then multiply whatever's in the parentheses. We're going to do everything in the parentheses. Simplify both sides. So I guess let's start with the parentheses, right? 2 times 5 is 10, all right? So then what we're going to be left with is 10 plus 3, equaling 13 inside here. And then 10 plus 13, right? The left side becomes 4A minus 13 plus 3 equals 4A minus 10. So all we did was broke the parentheses afterwards and got 4A minus 10. That's it. This whole left side is done. The right side is just going to be 3A minus 5. That's it. And when you're writing down, if anything's like this where it has the variable and then times 3, we always switch it. I don't know why, but it always, I guess it just looks better. A3 doesn't look as good as 3A. So now we have 4A minus 10 equals 3A minus 5. And all we're going to do is do our best to isolate A because we need to find A. Solve for A. So subtract 3A from both sides. And that's going to give us A minus 10 equals negative 5. And then we're going to add 10 to both sides. And then we're going to get A equals 5. This right here. Perfect. Consider the following formula. Again, just do the same thing that we practiced. I would rewrite the equation really quick. 6B plus 2 equals 44 minus B plus 4, B minus 3. Substitute the given values. Because what that does, it really saves you a lot of time when you're figuring out the equation, because all you're really doing is simplifying it to isolate B and finding out B. That's all you're doing. So in this case, it's 6B. Let's start with the left side. 6B plus 2. That's 6B, 6 times B. and then 6 times 2, giving us 6b plus 12. On this side, it's 4b, 4 times b, and then 4 times negative 12, right? So all I'm doing is just this, just distributing. Distribute first before I do anything, right? Simplify both sides. So we'll do the left side, just like I said, equaling 6b plus 12. Simplify the right side, and we start with what's inside here. So we would distribute this to get 4b minus 12, and that's still going to be in parentheses, or just right here. 4b minus 12 will just be right here. And then that b gets added, so we take out the parentheses, and now it's going to just be 5b times, or 5b minus 12. That's it on the left side, plus the 44, right? Or first, we're going to have to distribute the negative before we do anything. Remember to do that, okay? I get caught up with this negative a lot, and what helped me was putting a 1 here, because you're kind of distributing a negative 1 to each term, right? So let me show you what that looks like. I'm going to just erase everything. So the equation now is 6b plus 12 equals 44 minus, in parentheses, 5b minus 12. We're going to distribute that negative now. We're going to distribute it. This negative 1, distribute it to 5b, to positive 5b, and to negative 12. And that's just going to switch the signs. That's all it's going to do. So now instead of 5b minus 12, it is negative 5b plus 12. The full equation now, expression, is 6b plus 12 equaling 44 minus 5b plus 12. And then we just combine 44 and 12 equaling 56. Now we could solve for b just like we did in the previous question. Add 5b to both sides, giving us 11b plus 12 equaling 56. We minus 12, it's going to be 11b equaling 44. And then we divide by 11, isolating the b, giving us b equaling 4. Congratulations, you know math. Okay, next question. And again, make sure you are screenshotting these questions, okay? Or pausing the video. Pause the video right now, because this looks intimidating. And I want you to learn, and I want you to pass that test, okay? Let's start with this right here, all right? This looks really nasty, but it's not that bad. And I couldn't make it like this, how I wanted it to be. So it should look like this, and it looks cleaner like this, right? Plus a over a, something like that. It looks cleaner like this, but I haven't figured out how to type it like that. But okay, before we even touch this 2, right? Just get rid of this 2. We're just going to do this right here. All right. A cubed plus a divided by a. That's the same thing as a cubed plus, or a cubed, sorry. Let me do this. A cubed over a plus a over a, right? And remember, a cubed minus a1 equaling a squared plus what's a1 divided by a1. We learned that from our other question. It equals just 1. So this simplified is just a squared plus 1. And then we could put the 2 back, distribute 2a squared plus 1. So this is this whole part here, simplified. And it doesn't look as scary as it does right now. So hopefully you pause the video and just do this side for me. So try that yourself. A to the 4th power over a squared, and then minus a squared over a squared. And just don't even think about the minus part. Like, who cares? We're going to put that back in anyway, right? So I'm going to erase everything again, and I will do that with you because you paused the video and you did it yourself, right? So let's go ahead and do that. A to the fourth over a squared, right? Minus a squared over a squared, right? Again, it's a4 over a2 equaling 4 minus 2 equaling a squared. Minus a squared over a squared is just what? 1. We're done. And then we put the b, or we put the 8 and replace for the b's, c's for the 2's with the c's, I mean. I got that mixed up, but you get what I mean. And then we solve. So let's see what I have for you. So we rewrote everything, okay? And simplify the fraction. And we did exactly what it's telling us. A cubed plus a over a is just a cubed over a plus a over a equaling a squared plus 1. And then we get the 2, we distribute, and then it becomes 2a squared plus 2. All right, that's what we have. That's what we have simplified, okay? Next fraction, a4 minus a to the a squared over a squared equaling a to the fourth power minus a, or divided by a squared minus a squared over a squared. All that equals is a squared over a squared minus 1, I mean. Just a squared minus 1. So it's going to be 2a squared plus 2 minus a squared minus 1 plus whatever's happening over here. Substitute the values for b and c. And then we just do the FOIL method. This, I messed up. Okay, this is supposed to be a c, right? Yeah, that's supposed to be a c, not a 1, but I fixed it over here. So b, a, 2 is c, 8 plus 2. Again, it's just the same thing, except the sign has changed. And then we use the FOIL method, and then we get 10 times 6. Or we don't even do the FOIL method. I'm sorry. You don't even do the FOIL method. You just do 8 plus 2 is 10. 8 minus 2 is 6. And then you just multiply 10 times 6 equals 60. And then minus a squared. Combine the like terms. Okay. 2a squared plus 2 minus a. Oh, okay. I know what I did. So, okay, it's good that I wrote it down again. Why? Remember what I said? We have to distribute this 1, this negative 1 to a squared and to minus 1. So that changes everything. That changes the sign here. All right? So that's what I got wrong. Distribute the negative. Now it becomes 2a squared plus 2 minus a squared plus 1. So what we could do is exactly what I wanted to do before, which was get rid of the a's, right? These could cancel out. Now we have plus 2 plus 1 equals 3 plus 60 equaling 63, equaling answer choice A. Combine the like terms. Boom. And we're done. There you go. Okay. This is the portion of the test where I have to tell you guys the truth. I do not know how to explain this. Okay. So what I recommend you do is you just copy this right now, take a screenshot, do the problem yourself, and then just follow the prompts that I have here on the right. Because honestly, I'm going to butcher it. So I don't want to give you the wrong information. And yeah. So consider the following formula. A equals 10 minus 2b. Okay, what I know that you have to do for this question is you have to isolate b. So we have to change everything in terms of b. I don't know why, but that's what we do. Rewrite the formula to solve for b. Okay, at least I know that. A plus 2b equals 10. Subtract a from both sides. Okay, then we have this. B equals 10 minus a over 2. Okay. Statement A says if A is negative, then B is greater than 5. Okay. So, okay. It says if A is negative, then B is greater than 5. We're checking for statement A right now. So what we do is we just pick any negative number. It could have even been -1, but I think -2 works to get us a whole number. So let's just see what it has for us. So B equals 10 minus -2 over 2. So this is 12 over 2 equaling 6. So when it's a negative number, -2, for example, then it is greater than 5. I wonder what would happen if we did -1. So equaling 10 minus -1 over 2 equals 11 over 2 equals 5.5, which is greater than 5. This number is greater than 5. So that checks out too as well. So I guess statement A is correct. And then we could go further and just do 10 minus 3, 2 equals 13 over 2 equals 6.5. So the number is going up by 0.5 as we go down lower in our numbers, right? Because we're going -4, -5, -6, and so on and so forth. So what I have for you on the next slide, is what you could do with the other choices to double check, right? You could check each statement quickly. I recommend when you do find the right answer, you just go with it, right? So I'm not going to act like I know this. So I'm going to just click everything, and I want you to screenshot it, and then you're going to look over it yourself. Okay. From all this, we get that all the other statements are false. Okay. Question 15. This is the same thing. I believe you could graph this though, but let's just see. Okay, so what we're doing is we're isolating, or I think we're finding where the cutoff is. The cutoff where x equals 0. Okay, y equals 16. The cutoff point is y equals 16. So how I would do this is I would kind of see this on a graph, right? 16. So the cutoff is 16. Somewhere over there is where that's the y-intercept is 16. Or I don't know. I'm not going to act like I know this. So, okay, pick one easy test. Try y equals 20. Again, this is another problem where I want you to screenshot it because I am going to butcher this. So it says if y is greater than 16, then x is positive. Okay, when the value of y is greater than 16, x is positive. So, okay. Again, this is another question. Oh my gosh. Oh, actually, this is not that bad. I do have trouble with this one, but all you're doing is basic algebra. The difference between the value of h and m changes. So the equation here is h minus m, and you're just trying to figure out if it changes or stays the same for a and b. And h minus m, you would put h equaling 2m plus 2. So just replace it right here, 2m plus 2 minus m, and that would give us m plus 2. So the difference between the value of h and m changes, yes, because if m changes right here, m changes, then h changes. It's not constant. It's not the same. We would have an equal sign if it was constant. So we could eliminate b. For positive values h, m is, for positive values h, m is greater than 0. Yeah, man, I am not going to act like I know what I'm doing here. So let's see what we have. Oops. Test the difference idea directly. Choices A and B talk about the difference between h and m, and we did this. So all I did was did h minus m, and I replaced the h with 2m plus 2 minus m equals m plus 2. Since m can change, m plus 2 changes, okay? A is true and B is false. Step 2, check choice C with one counterexample. C says for positive h values, m is greater than 0. Try a positive h, but with a negative m. Let m equals minus 0.5, okay? H equals 2 times negative 0.5 plus 2 equals negative 1 plus 2 equals 1. So when m is negative, we get h as a positive number. So that is false because h is positive, m is negative. So C is false. Check choice D with one counterexample. D says for negative m values, h is less than 0. Well, we kind of did that already in when we were checking C. You already use m equals negative 0.5, right? For negative values m, and got 1, which is not negative, which is not less than 0. D is false. Okay, I kind of got that, but no, I didn't get that. I want you to take a screenshot of this and practice this. These are the most challenging problems, not because they're super hard, they just are time consuming and they make you think a lot. Okay, 3x equals 6y plus 12. Okay, how ChatGPT taught me to do this wasn't the way I was taught. The way I was taught was this. I was taught to isolate so we get y equals mx plus b, the slope-intercept form. So we go 3x equals 6y plus 12. We want to get that y, right? We want to get that y. So I am going to minus 12, switch everything around, 6y equals 3x minus 12, divide by 6, divide by 6, divide by 6. We get y equals negative 1/2. All I did was simplify, minus 2. So that is the equation that we are going to be working with, right? This is what we could plot. So on here, we got minus 2, right? That is, the b is our intercept. So I'm going to put a plot here. And then 1/2 x is just all that is rise over run, right? You rise by 1, and then you go over to the right 2 because it's a positive slope. So 1, 2, and just put our point right there. Now I'm going to draw a nice straight line, right? So this is how I was taught how to do this. When the value of y is less than negative 2, x is positive. So y is less than negative 2. So the y value, let's just pick one. Let's just do negative 3 right here. This is negative 3. So our x value is going to be over here, right? So this is our negative 3. That's the value less than negative 2. And then our x value is actually in the negative. It's not positive. So we rule out A. When the value of x is less than 4, y is positive. So when the value of x is less than 4, so 4 is somewhere here, right? We'll just say, I think the x-intercept is at 4. So is less than 4. So we'll choose 3. If we choose 3 right here, and then go down to our y value, it is actually negative. It is negative all the way down. So this is wrong. Y is negative. So when the value of x is greater than 10, so 10 is like somewhere over here. Then we go up to y. This is actually negative, right? Greater than 10. So 11, if we go to 11, this is positive. This is positive. And then if we choose 12, again, it is positive, right? So C is incorrect. When the value of y is greater than -2, so here's -2, and then any value above here, so we'll try -1, right? This right now, when the value of y is greater than -2, all right? Well, right now, over here, x is positive, right? If we have -1, it's positive like 2. And if we keep going up, let's just say like 5, right? This value is greater than -2. Well, if we go here to our x value, it's positive, and it's always positive. So D is the correct answer. That's how I learned, by graphing. Now this is going to show you a different way, and it's faster, okay? Here we go. So we want to solve for x in this case. Start with 3x equals 6y plus 12. Divide everything by 3. Then we get x equals 2y plus 4. Find the cutoff where x equals 0. Set x to 0. X to 0, 2y plus 4, 2y, then we just subtracted 4 from each side. And then now we divided by 2 to get y equals -2. So we have this coordinate, x, we got 0, -2. The cutoff is y equals -2. And remember in my graph, we had that. The cutoff was -2, but I don't understand what that means. Match the correct statement. So if y is greater than -2, then 2y plus 4 is greater than 0. So x is positive. I don't understand that. But okay, this matches D. When the value of y is greater than -2, x is positive. See, I don't, like, where did I get that from? I don't know. But that's the answer, guys. The same goes for this. I would graph this, okay? I would graph that, and it makes much more sense when I graph it. So this is another question which I want you to screenshot and figure it out on your own. At least you got free game, though. You know what's going to be on the test. I apologize that I don't know how to explain everything. So I'm just going to go quickly over to this, and then I want you to do it yourself. Okay, so I want to go over this really quick, and this doesn't have to have anything really to do with this problem, but you will encounter this. So it says substitute the expression for x. So 15 minus 3 over 2y greater than 0, and then you just minus everything here. Well, to get from here to here, you have to divide by a fraction. And when you divide by a fraction, anytime you do that, you have to flip this inequality. Okay? So negative 3 over 2y is greater than -15. When you multiply, it'll be something like this, 2 over 3, to get rid of this. So now you're multiplying it on this side, and then you just distribute. So you have 30 over 3 minus equaling negative, or equaling Oh, it doesn't matter. It's actually positive because minus 15 times another negative is positive. So this is positive 10. And then remember, you just have to flip this inequality. Look how it's like this. You have to flip it every time you multiply by a fraction. Okay, that's just something I wanted to point out. Okay. Yeah, I want you guys to do this on your own. So consider the following formula. Again, this is one of those hard ones, man. So in this case, what I would do is take a nap. What I would do is for A, all you're going to do is substitute the h's for m minus 4. So m minus 4 plus m, right? So we have it right here already. M minus 4 plus m greater than 0. That's 2m minus 4 over 0, and then plus 4 plus 4, 2m greater than 4, divide by 2, divide by 2, m is greater than 2. Well, we can't have that. I can't explain why, but we can't have that. So choice A is incorrect. Okay, erase all the ink. Okay, so now we're going to substitute the h over here. So for B, m plus 4 plus m greater than 2m. And then we have 2m plus 4, 2m. And then we're going to minus 2m, minus 2m. And we have minus 4 is greater than 0. And that is incorrect. That's an incorrect statement. So we can't have B. Next one. M minus 4 less than 0. Okay, remember we have to distribute, right? This is like having a 1 there. All right, so we have m minus m plus 4 less than 0. Cross those out. 4 less than 0 is an incorrect statement. All are wrong here. So now, lookity-hookity, we have to do this long expression here, or inequality, or whatever this is called. And I don't like doing that, but hey, we're trying to become electrical construction workers here, so we have to do it. M minus 4, okay, greater than m minus 4 minus m. So we're going to do this again. Minus m plus 4 greater than m minus 4 minus m. Okay, so take those out, and we could take these out, and we have 4 greater than minus 4. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the correct statement. 4 is greater than negative 4. So I do know how to explain this problem. Let's see what I put. So again, m minus 4 plus m greater than 0. And I just rewrote everything, it looks like. Oh no, I just substituted all the h's with m minus 4. That's all I did. Test each answer choice quickly. So I did exactly that. M is greater than 2. So I don't understand this, but it means this is only true when m is greater than 2. Not always true. A is false. Choice B. So negative 4 is not greater than 0. B is false. Over here. So 4 is not less than 0. C is false. And then we did this long one, but it made sense. And you get 4 and negative 4. And the inequality becomes 4 is greater than -4, and that is the correct answer. All right, D is true. All right, here we go. These are the fun ones. Consider the following formula. Which of the following choices represents the same relationship as the given function? 2x minus 3. So in this case, we're going to have to know the equation of how to find a slope. Okay, how to find the slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 equaling m, right? Y equals mx plus b is the way to find a linear equation on a graph. So we could figure out what the linear equation is if we just find the slope here and we find the y-intercept when we just set x to 0. But the thing is, it gives us the y-intercept here. So that's a clue, right? A and C could be the answer because they do have a -3 as the y-intercept, just like our formula here has a -3. This is y equals x minus 3. So this does not have the same relationship as the given function because it has the same y-intercept, but it has a different slope. So we could rule out D, right? D, get out of here, D. We don't like you. And we look at B here. This has it has a negative slope. And 2, the y-intercept goes at 0, 3, not 0, -3. So we could rule out B. So now we just have to test the slopes for each of these tables, right? So let's go ahead and erase everything and let's test the first one, right? Let's test it. So remember what the equation was? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 equaling m, equaling the slope. So we just picked 2 points, or two, is it 2 points? Like that. Let's just choose these two. So this one is ahead of this one. So we would go 3, right? This is y2 minus -1 over x2. So 3 minus 1 equaling m. And this would equal 4 over 2 equaling 2. And there's our slope. And if we put it all together with the y-intercept, it would equal y equals 2x minus 3, which is our formula. This table matches our formula. Then we choose A and we move on. But for the sake of the video, let's go ahead and try this one out. So let's go ahead and do it again. Let's choose this point and this point. And it matters how you do it, okay? You can't just choose these 2 points and then like do -3 minus -7. No, there's an order to it, okay? That's why there is the y2, y1. So this would be the 2. And this would be the y1, right? If we chose these two, right? These two instead, this would now be y2 and this would be y1. All right, let's go ahead and do this problem. So we have -9 minus -7 over, oh my gosh, my nose is like super itchy. I think it's because all the lights are like, I feel like when the lights are on me, I don't know, I just get itchy. It's weird. Okay. -9 minus -7. And then we'll choose these ones right here. And then we will do -3 minus 0 equals, so this will be plus, and then it'll be -2 over -3, and that is wrong. It'll be 2 over 3, and that is not our slope. I don't know if that doesn't seem right. I got a fraction. I don't like when I get fractions. But you will also see fractions on that aptitude test. So that's good we're seeing some fractions. Let's choose these two. -7 minus -1, and then 2 minus -1 equals, I'm going to do it over here. So we have -6 over, and then this one is plus, so we have 3 equals -2. This is a -2. What the heck did I do? This is a negative slope, so this is wrong. This is not our formula, but why did I get a different slope on when I did those 2 points? Doesn't matter. Let's see what I put. Use the formula to generate points. Pick easy x values and find out y. So all we did was we just put the points in the formula. So the formula, if you remember, was y equals 2x minus 3. And what I did was put these points in here. So y equals 2x minus 3. I would put -5 equals 2 -1 minus 3 minus 5 equals -2 minus 3 minus 5 equals -5. If these numbers didn't add up, then it's definitely wrong. So let's just go back, or I don't want to go back, but that's how you would find it. Another way you would find it. A is correct because the value match choices. A is correct because the values match choice A's table exactly, because they plugged in all the x values and the y values inside the equation. Eliminate the other choices, and just like we said, B is incorrect because it shows a line through 0, 3. The y-intercept is at -3. C is incorrect because when x increases by 1, y decreases by 2. That slope is -2, not +2. D is incorrect because y equals m minus 3 has a slope of 1 and not 2. Okay, perfect. So here we go again. This is the same type of problem with a little bit of difficulty here because we have a word problem that we need to convert to y equals mx plus b. Y is equivalent to 12 times the value of x divided by 3. So how you would read that is y equals 12 times the value of x over 3. All that is simplified is 4x. That's the equation we're working with. And then we would just figure out which of the choices represents the following equation. Okay, so y equals 4x, and then I like to put +0 because that's our intercept. It's at the origin. When you just have a 4x or a 2x or just an x, the origin is at 0. So C could be right. A could be right because we have 0, 0. B is incorrect because the y-intercept is at -1. Our y-intercept is the origin at 0, 0. So this D is incorrect because the y-intercept is at 0, -1, just like this. So we rule that out. So we're only left with these 0, 0 and 0, 0. So A and C. So we could just do exactly what we did last time, which was we just plug all the numbers in. So let's just try it out. So let's try the next number on this table. 4 equals 4, 1, 4 equaling 4. That checks out. And then we could do 8 equals 4, 2, 8 equaling 8. That checks out. Okay, let's just try the last one just because. 16 equals 4, 4, 16 equals 16. I think we're good to go. Let's just try 12 equals 4, 3. 4 times 3 is 12, 12, 12. This seems like the correct answer. I think I'm going to go with A. This, what we could do is find 2 points, find the slope, or find the 2 points and then find the slope. So we could just find the slope from here. actually. So let's just go from here to here. So if we count the rise over run, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 for the rise. And then the run is 1, 2 over 2 equaling 4. Okay, so never mind. These both could be the same answer. I don't know why I did that. Okay, looks like we got the same answer. Let's see what I put. Okay, 4x, okay. A is incorrect because it shows y equals 3x, not y equaling 4x. Ah, so A is actually incorrect. Can we go back a slide? See, let's go back a slide. This one has 3x. I don't know how it has 3x. Maybe if we calculate the slope, it has 3x. Let me just see. So slope, remember, is y2 minus y1. So let's go ahead and calculate that. Let's go with these two right here. 12 minus 8, and then 3 minus 2 equaling 4 over 1 equals 4. Well, I don't know about that. Maybe I just wrote the problem wrong or wrote the numbers wrong because I'm getting the same slope. Let me try 16 minus 12 equaling, okay, 4 minus 3. Okay, that's 4 over 1. It's 4 over 1 still. I think I may have just written this wrong, okay? Forgive me. Anyway, you're going to get a question just like this. And I guess what I was trying to get at is you're going to get it written like this. And you got to know how to translate this to y equals mx plus b into a linear expression. Okay? So let's just move on. Okay, consider the following table. Then you have this. Which of the following choices represents the same relationship as the given table? Okay, from this, we would just find y equals mx plus b by finding the slope m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Finding the y-intercept by setting x to 0, and then finding out the y-intercept, which is -3. What I want you to rule out immediately is this. This is not a linear equation. This is not. So you would just automatically rule this out. You don't want that. Get that out of here. All right. So now you just have these 3 problems to deal with. That's what I was getting at with this question. So I'm actually not going to go over this. We're just going to skip over this. Okay. Consider the following graph of the function y equals mx plus b. Which of the following options is true regarding the graph? Again, you would just find 2 points on the graph, find what the slope is using the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and then finding the y-intercept by plugging 0 for x, and then, but it's already given to you here, so it's 2, so it'll be like y equals mx plus 2, and then you just find the slope, and then you try to match it with one of these. So this could be it because it has a positive y-intercept. This could be it. No, this cannot be it. I'm sorry. This cannot be it because this has a positive slope. We actually have a negative slope. It's falling down. This could be it, but it can't because the y-intercepts don't match. This just shifted downwards. That's all it did. So it would be either this one or this one. You just would have to find the slope. So moving on. Okay, which of the graphs represents the following two linear equations? Okay, so what I would do first here is just put everything into y terms. Y equals mx plus b terms. That's it. So x plus y equaling 4. I would minus x, y equals minus x plus 4. Okay, and then the next one is 2x minus y equals, I'm just going to circle that. And this is a y. Sorry, guys. My handwriting sucks on this. Okay, 1. Okay, and then minus 2x. So I would have y equals 2x minus 1. Okay, I just distributed that negative on here. So those are my two equations here. So at first glance, I would just find any graph that has a intercept at 4 plus 4 and negative 1. So this one has one at 4 and negative 1. This one has a 4 and positive 1. Take that out. And then this one has a 3 and negative 1. So I would just already take these out. And this one has two parallel lines working together on a negative slope, but we have a negative slope and a positive slope. So I would take these out, and that gives us this one right here is our correct answer. A is our correct answer. And let us just see. Rewrite into mx plus b, okay? Okay, B is incorrect, like we said. C is incorrect. D is incorrect. A is correct because there's a negative slope line that crosses y equals 4, and there's a positive slope line that crosses y equals negative 1. Okay, perfect. All right, which value of m is correct? Solve the proportion. Which value of m is correct? Did I word that correctly? I don't know which value of m is correct. Maybe what I meant to say is what is the value of m? Because you would just solve, right? Let me just see. M minus 4 over 16 minus m equals 3 over 9. What you would do here is you would cross multiply. That's what's happening here. So it's 9 times m minus 4 equals 3, 16 minus m. And then you would just distribute like we learned on problem 1. 9m minus 36 equals, what is this? That is 16 times 3. That is 8. 48 minus m, right? Yeah, 48. Oh, minus 3m. Minus 3m. And then you would just combine all the like terms and isolate. So in this case, let us plus 36 plus 36, what is that? 184, 9m equals 84 minus 3m. Okay, let me just erase it. 9m equals 84 minus 3m. Okay. Plus 3m. I don't know if I did this right. So it'll be 12m equals 84. Divide by 12. And then 84 times 12, or 84 divided by 12. I don't think I did this right. Is it 7? 12 times 7. Yeah, it is. It's 7. 4, 184. Oh, I guess. Oh, yeah. I guess it's this. B is 7. Okay, I know that was just a cluster of a whole bunch of numbers. Sorry. But if you were following, all I did was distribute like we did in question 1, and then just all I did was isolate m. That's all I did. I'll erase everything. See what I put. Simplify the fraction. 3 out of, oh. So you could simplify the fraction off the bat, okay? That's what I should have done. You simplify the fraction, okay? The equation now is m minus 4, 16 minus m, okay, 1/3. Cross multiply, like I said. Okay, way better if you just did the simplification. 4m minus 12. Oh my gosh, way better. M equals 7. All right. So I just did it the hard way. I should have simplified first, but okay. I don't think, oh, which value of m is correct? Ah, okay, like which value of m, because these all could be m. Ah, anyway, screenshot this, guys, and make harder problems. All right, here we go. Evaluate the expression. X equaling 6 and y equals 5x minus 3 over 6. All right, so for this, you wouldn't just plug in the x value and then plug in the y value in here. That would just be way too much work. Okay, what you would do first is you would put this x value into here to find out y. So you would get y equals 5x or 5, 6, sorry. You would get 5, 6. Okay. Minus 3 over 6. And then you would get y equals 30 minus 3 over 6. Y equals 27. Oh, shoot. I did that wrong again. Right? No, I did that right. Let me see what I put. Solve for y. Oh, I guess, no, I didn't. So this one was hard on purpose. So 27 divided by 6 is 4.5. Okay, now we have x equals 6 and y equals 4.5. And then we just plug that in the equation and solve. Plug in the x values and y values. 3x minus 2 equals 3x minus 2 over here. 6 minus 2 equaling 18 minus 2 equals 16. Okay, 16 is at the top right here. 2y, we're solving this at the bottom, the denominator. 2y plus 1 equals 2. 4.5 plus 1 equals 9 plus 1 equaling 10. So now we have 16 over 10. And then this is the same thing. So it looks something like this. It's 16 over 10 plus 10 over 16 equaling question mark. And then we would just add. Let's see what we have. We could simplify it. Okay, see 16 over 10 plus 10 over 16, reduce the fraction. 16 over 10 equals 8 over 5 equals 1.6. And then 10 over 16 equals 5 over 8 equals 0.625. And then that equals this, 2.225. The thing is, I wouldn't know how to do this, okay? But you will get this. I believe the IBEW expects you to know some fractions, all right? So be prepared with fractions. Fractions suck. I do not like them. Moving on. Evaluate. Sorry, I'm getting stuffy now. I think it's because I've been talking for straight up an hour and 30 minutes. Okay, evaluate the formula. Q equals 1 over R equals N over 2 pi, Q equals question mark. So this one is meant to trick you like it's one of the hardest problems. But those word problems are harder than this. This is actually an easy problem. So you would just get this R and substitute it in here. And you just need to know basic algebra to figure this out. So you have Q equals 1 over R, and then R is N divided by 2 pi, right? And then what we would do is just multiply, because we would just switch everything. So it would be like this, equals 1 times 2 pi over N, okay? Then you have Q equals 2 pi, because 1 times 2 pi is just 2 pi over N. And that's your answer. That's it. So simple. right here. Here we go. Substitute the expression for r into q equals 1 over r. Okay, since r equals n over 2 pi, then q equals 1 over n over 2 pi. Divide by a fraction. You have to flip it. So just like what I said, 1 times 2 pi over n equals 2 pi over n. Final answer is just q equals 2 pi over n. Easy. Okay, solve the following system of equations. N has the equation 2x plus 3y equals 13, and O has 4x minus y equaling 5. Which ordered pair xy is the solution? So all you have to do is find out x and y that work for both of these equations. And in order to do that, we just need to solve and find one of them and then plug back that number into the equation, to the other equation, to get the other y, or the other variable. So in this case, we are going to solve for, let's see what I put here. Solve one equation for a variable. Okay. So 4x minus y equals 5 to minus y equals 5 minus 4x to y equals 4x minus 5. Okay, so all I did was just put it into y terms. I put O into y terms. Plug it into the other equation, n. Okay, plug in y. Okay, so now all I did was plug in this into here. So let me just write it down for you guys so you can see. So I got this by just making it into y equals mx plus b form. I just isolated the y. And now I'm putting y equals 4x minus b into this equation. So now it's going to be 2x plus 3 for x minus 5 equals 13. Put that back in parentheses. So now we have 2x plus 12x minus 15 equals 13. And then we're going to add like terms. 4x minus 15 equals 13. And then now we're going to add plus 15 plus 15. We have 14x equals 28. Divide by 14. Divide by 14. It's a bad 14, but there you go. Equals x equals 2. So now we have the x term. X equals 2. So I'm going to erase everything and then I'm put this back and say x equals 2. So now we could just plug in this 2 into here, or we could plug it into here. So let's just plug it into O. So 2 minus y equals 5. 8 minus y equals 5. And then minus 8 minus, minus 8 y, negative y equals negative 3. And then we just flip the sign to change this to a positive y, and then we have y equaling 3. So our ordered pair is 2, 3, making answer choice A the correct answer. So let's see if it is. Yep, x equaling 2. And then we plug it back into this equation. And our final answer is 2, 3, and that's A. All right. So now we have this. Which of the following graphs represents the function y equals 8x? And from what we know is when we just have 8x, right, and nothing after that, we know that the origin is 0, or the y-intercept is 0. Right? So given this graph, what can we assume, right? Well, B, right? A, look, A is like, oh my gosh, this has to be it because it crosses the origin, which is correct. This is going to be A. A will be the correct answer. But let's go look at B. B is the incorrect answer because number 1, it has a negative slope. All right. D could be the answer because it has a positive slope, but it crosses at 2. Crosses right here. So that we rule that out. And C crosses at -4. So we rule that out. So this has to be the correct answer, A. So you would choose A in the multiple choice answers. So use process of elimination using y equals mx plus b. We know in the function y equals 8x, b equals 0, which means the line crosses over the origin. Also, we know the slope is positive. A is the correct answer because it's the only line that crosses over the origin. You're going to get something just like this, and you're going to have to use process of elimination to figure out which of the functions is represented in the graph. Easy. All right. Oops, I didn't. C is correct. Y equals -3x plus 5. So again, it's just process of elimination again. We know that we have a y-intercept at 0 and 5 and a negative slope of 3. So negative goes like this. So we can rule out A. And then we have a y-intercept at 5. So it could be C or B. We could eliminate D. So now we just have to figure out the slope. So let's just get a point here. We know that C is correct. So let's go work with C. Let's just work with it, okay? And we're going to go 3 and then over 1. So we'll start here and then we'll go up 3, right? So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and then 1 because here to here is 1. And then like if you were looking and paying attention to the grid, you would know that in between is a full 1. So like here's a 1, that's a 2, that's a 3, and then cross over 1 grid line, that's a 1. So that's 3 over 1, and and that's falling down. It's negative. I think you would actually put like falling down, so you go like this, and then 1, 2, 3. You would go down the slope, right? But nonetheless, C is correct because the slopes match and the y-intercept matches. All right, cool. Okay, we have another one here where we just plug in all of these variables into the equation to figure out m. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is another problem where I am going to write down the problem with the variables super fast. So it's like 24, right? Q10, 24 over 10 minus R, which is 4, plus P, which is 24 again, over S, which is 1, minus R, which is 4, over Q minus S. So we have 10 minus 1 equals M. So then I would do everything in the parentheses. So 24 over 6 now plus 24 minus 3, and then this is 9 equals M. 24 over 6 is 4 plus 24 times -3, that is 72. So minus 72 over 9 equals M. 4 plus -8 equals M. And then 4 plus -8 is -4, equaling M, and choice A is correct. All right, let's see if we got that right. So just plug in all the variables, like I said, solve everything in parentheses, okay, and then simplify the fraction, 4 plus -8, add the results, M equals -4. I got that correct. Let's go. Okay, this one over here. Isolate the variable from the formula. This one may seem tricky, but it's not that bad. So you just need to know algebra. X, Y equaling A, B plus C over D plus E over F. So what would you do first in this equation, right? We wouldn't multiply anything yet. We won't divide by anything just yet. What we would do first is just remove this right here because we want to isolate C. So we're going to go minus E over F minus E over F. So you have X, Y minus E over F. You're going to have one ugly equation, but that's what this problem is designed to be. Plus C over D. What we would do next is we could multiply by D on both sides. And then now we have D, X, Y minus E over F equals A, B plus C. Then we could divide by A, right? And then the next thing we would do, because I ran out of space, is the last thing we would have, because these things crossed out, is we would have B plus C. And then we would just minus the B. And the final equation would be this right here. And then that would equal C. And that would be answer choice. This one right here would be A. Right? Yeah, would be A. So let's see if we got that right. Let me remove everything. So subtract the EF term from both sides. That's what I did. Multiply both sides by the denominator. D to clear the denominator. Okay, that's what I did. And then divide both sides by A. That's what I did. Then subtract B. That's what I did. And that's it right there. And it's answer choice A. All right. So yeah, it's just basic algebra to isolate the C. That's what this is trying to make you do. Just isolate C with this ugly formula here. But we're really not solving for anything. Like there's no numbers that we could solve for. We're just moving things around. Okay, next question. This is the last question. Oh my gosh. Okay, this one is actually easier than the previous one. So we're isolating P1. Okay, M equals P1, P2 minus 3. I think it's all over 4 like this. I'm not sure, but okay. I would first do this. This is what I would do first. And then equals P1, P2 minus 3. Okay. And then after this, what would I do? Oh, all I would do is this. Oh my gosh, I made it so difficult. P2 divided by 3. You just divide by all that. That's it. Because it's like P1 times P2 minus 3. And then these would cross out. And now your full equation isolating P1 is 4M over P2 minus 3. That's it. This would be answer choice A again. Guaranteed. So you would clear the denominator by multiplying both sides by 4. Okay, we did that. 4M equals P1, P2 minus P3. And then divide both sides by P2 minus P3 to isolate P1. And that's it. Then you have your correct answer A. And that is it, folks. We want to discard all those annotations. We are done with the IBEW full-length Algebra and Functions Aptitude practice test that I created. All I did was put in my notes into ChatGPT, and then it just made up new equations for me to solve and to give to you for free. So again, if you want me to make another practice test for you and you enjoyed this, let me know in the comments below by commenting test. That's it. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope this helps you out because I didn't have this, I had to pay for something. I had to pay for the practice tests. And I see on Reddit that there are many people advertising their practice tests, when honestly, I believe all this information should be free. So guys, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel to watch the journey of me being an electrician, because I am taking a full-on career change to becoming an electrician, and I have already taken my aptitude tests. I passed it. I've interviewed for 332 and 617, and I already got my rank with 332. And hopefully, let us pray in Jesus' name that I get the call this year in 2026, or maybe that I get a really good score in 617 and I get the call there. So, guys, hope you enjoyed this. Marky Baby out. Bye.